friends, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to another memory planner share. This is something that I've been doing. This is my second year that I started doing this, and I just find that it's a really helpful way for me to capture all of the little things that happen every day, and also it's my kind of journal keeping for this year. So last year I made my own planner. If you're interested in what that looked like, make sure that you check out the planner or memory planner playlist in my channel so that you can see that. This time I actually bought this pre-made album, or sorry, journal planner, whatever you call them, on Hobby Lobby. And here's my concern. I'm filming this about mid-May, and this is the extent of the pages that I've already added pictures, little documentations and things like that. And then I still have this much, and as you can see, it's filled up. So I'm a little concerned that this book is not going to close by the time I'm done with it, which I'm thinking it will just have to be, right? Again, this is my second year, so I'm kind of, it's like a shoes, right? You're kind of trying on different shoes and see which one you really like. And so I'm noticing for myself, I need something that doesn't have an enclosure because it gets really fat by the end of the year. And I also need to learn how to do them that it's not too bulky. So that is what I'm learning. Now, I am going to share the pages that I have made starting in March because that's where I ended in my last video. If you want to check out the other videos that I have for this particular year's memory planner, again, make sure that you check that playlist because that's where all of the videos will live. Okay, so this is the front. I haven't decorated. I didn't even put my name on it, but one of the things that I love about this pre-made one was that all of the pages were already made for me. Last year I had to make my own pages. I had to make my own dividers, which actually wasn't so bad. It was actually pretty fun because I was able to use some of my tab dies and also some of my papers, but the only thing that was kind of cumbersome throughout the year was having to punch holes every time I create some new sheets. So that was something that I don't have to do now. I do like that there's also a pocket for this one, so I can tuck some ephemera later on. If I do want to make a layout of a specific event, then I know where the ephemera lives. These are just ticket stubs or like paintings that I did when I was at a museum and things like that. So we're going to go into March. And the layout of each month is pretty much the same. They have the front where you're supposed to write your notes, your birthdays, special events, and things like that. I don't put that over here, so I just decorate them. Another thing that I have been loving about memory planning is that I get to use random things in my scrapbook room and scrapbook space and just put it over here. I try to kind of match them or like make sure that the theme is connected to that month or something like that. But for the most part, they're pretty random, and I like that I can use up my supplies for that. And then with that page, we go on to a full spread with kind of a month at a glance, and this is where I usually put a lot of my like the things that I've already have schedules, appointments, events, things like that. So I kind of put it here, and I do like using my washi for my memory keeping. I have a few. I don't have like a ton, but I do have plenty, and I'm in the season of my crafting where I like to use up my supplies because I feel guilty just having that sit. So I love that I'm able to use it here. Again, this is March, so I was going with the green theme for St. Patrick's Day. Sorry. And then I've talked about this in my last video, how I'm using two different kinds of markers. This one I actually used Spectrum Noir markers, and it bled through. You can see a little bit of that here. But for the most part, the numbers that I'm putting in for my days of the week, I'm using a zebra marker, and it's specifically for journaling so it doesn't bleed through on the other side. Another thing that I like about this specific album is that it is undated, so I can actually just date it as I go. And so this is the first spread for March, and so March started on a Saturday, so I just filled in some of the days of the week, the beginning of the days of the week, with some accents and then pictures. As you can see, I have some vertical, I have some horizontal, And then this is what I'm noticing that is lacking in this particular layout design of the planner, is that I don't have enough space to add pictures for each day. In the beginning, I was doing something like this so that it's every week, but then it gets really thick. So January was really thick. So I learned that I just need to create my own insert so that I can add more pictures. Again, the most important thing about this memory planner for me is to just jot down my journaling. I actually do that every night. There's only 4 spaces, so I'm thinking about the highs and the lows and the 4 important things that I want to write down. Of course, I'm not capturing my everyday in here, like every single moment, but I'm capturing the most important, which I think in the long run keeps me going, because I'm not writing a novel every single night, right? So I'm adding some, again, adding some tabs here for other pictures that I wanted to incorporate. I do do a lot of like outfit of the day in front of my my mirror, and so I do a lot of pictures with whatever I'm wearing, which helps me to remember what I've worn and if I could repeat an outfit, things like that. And then I also like to take a picture of just random things, like what book I'm reading, which, by the way, if you haven't read this book, 2 thumbs up. I love this book. I've actually had a great reading year so far. I've had a lot of great books that I've read, so just want to let you know. And then just some, again, I didn't have enough space for the pictures that I wanted, and so I'm adding that there. And then just a few more. And this one I kind of did something different, where I had 2 smaller ones, and then I added that kind of in, make sure that I added it with where the rings are. And then here is a big one, because my son and I, we went to a museum, and then we ate out as well, and so there are some pictures of that, and then also some pictures of the day after. And then I also like adding some stickers and some other embellishments within my pages. And then here we go into April. Again, we have that page where I add some accents, things that I have in my, my scrap space that I'm not using anymore. And then my spread. This spread is a little bit minimal, or there's not a lot of like stamping within the boxes, but I did add a few different things on the sides and on the bottoms of my monthly spread. And then here, what I did with this one was I had some shaped kind of journaling block, and I actually, there's a sticker backing to it, so I did 2, and I had the sticker backing stick to each other, so I had 2 of them on here, and it just fit. It had my photos fit perfectly on there. Some of the photos I'm keeping as a 3x4, but as you can see, some of them I really turn into a square if I can, in order for me to save some space. And then because there's this 8th block on this whole spread, I usually add some pictures on there as well, or some embellishments. And then this one, I didn't have much pictures that are left over that I wanted to add for this week, so I did a really skinny one for this particular week, and I like how that goes. Sometimes I would add like what day of the week these pictures are, but I know exactly these were a Saturday one because I went on a hike with my son, so I'm okay with that. And then here is another spread. I'm just going through my embellishments and my die cuts and everything that I have in my stash, and I'm adding them here. I have die cuts, I have stickers, I have all sorts of knickknacks and whatever it is. So I'm adding them here just to kind of fill in the space, and also to give a lot of color and design in my spread. And then here is another one. Now, these are actually Saturday pictures, so I put a Saturday there so that I can remember that all these pictures are connected to the stories for Saturday. And then I go into the end of April. So again, I'm filming this in the beginning of May, and so I have pictures that I had printed for March and April, and then I stopped there. But as you can see, I have filled in my journaling. So when I was doing this particular week rather, I forgot that the April ended on Wednesday, and then May started on Thursday. I just continued because I really don't pay attention to the days of the week anymore. I just know, okay, I wrote here yesterday, last night, and then I'm writing here tonight, kind of thing. And so I didn't realize that May kind of, I wrote my May here. So instead of moving all of that stories into May, I'm just showing you my front of May, and then all of my different things. I did use my like planner stickers on here because it's fun, right? So I'm gonna keep that there. And then what I did was I actually taped or glued the first week of May, because that's going to be the week that I had put into at the end of April. And then I started with that following week, which is the first full week of May. So then I don't get myself confused anymore. Hopefully I won't. So this is, again, I have just been writing on here just so that I could keep it fresh in my mind as I'm writing it down, and I'm only writing 4 things, and so it helps me, it gets me through, because then it's not a chore. It's just I'm writing some simple things and then I call it good. Like writing only takes me less than 5 minutes. So anyways, that's my share for the month. We will see when I'll share this again. Probably share it maybe in June or July. Probably more likely in July or maybe in August. But again, as you can see, this is the amount of pages that I've already written or added pictures in, and it's pretty thick, so I'm a little concerned how the rest of the year is going to go, but we will see. If you like these kinds of videos, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any questions on my process or what I've shared so far, please leave that in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer it as fast as I can. And if you do have some suggestions for me, if you've gone through this process and you are kind of if you have encountered the same things I'm encountering with this kind of planner, give me some tips as well in the comment section below. I would love to learn from you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye now.